Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jillian and today I will be sharing the story times of my experience hitchhiking in Mexico. A little bit of background information is I spent 3 months this past summer backpacking solo across Mexico. I believe I went to 5 or 6 different states and I had an incredible time. This video is not to convince you to go hitchhiking your way through Mexico. This video is just to open you up to the idea that you can live a life safely that you thought maybe you couldn't, okay? Another reason why I'm telling you these stories is because I am in the process of finishing my first book, and this book is a compilation of stories from my last 10 years of travel. So on my YouTube channel, I want to start sharing some of those stories that aren't necessarily in this book, but can give you an idea of what you're going to find in this book. And a lot of them have to do with crazy, random, and chance encounters that I have with people and the effects they have on me. Let's start at the beginning, and the beginning is prior to my time in Mexico. Before I went to Mexico, I think I had been solo backpacking for 3 years, not 3 years continuously, and over those 3 years, I hadn't really ever hitchhiked. Years later, had a crazy time with a conscious community in Tenerife and spent a month of my life hitchhiking all across the island. That story is in my book, so you'll be able to read about that story in the future. But I was hitchhiking with people. That was my first time getting into random people's cars, putting my thumb out on the road, and it taught me a lot about the art. Back to Mexico. So listen, my time in Mexico started off very cautiously. I kind of always knew that I was gonna hitchhike because I'm still riding this wave of opening my eyes up to this idea of soulful connections and interactions with everyone. But I did start off very cautious. I was taking the bus from one city to the next and pre-booking it and making sure that it was like safe. I had no problems taking the buses in Mexico, but they get kind of boring, right? Because they're expensive and also they're solo. Maybe you want to be in a car with a stranger and talk about life for an hour. This video is going to be a compilation of 4 different hitchhiking stories across Mexico, okay? 2 of them, I was unsuccessful in hitchhiking because the bus actually came first. The other 2 we're going to talk about. So, my first experience hitchhiking in Mexico was not alone. You'll be happy to hear. It was with another girl traveler that I had met in Chiapas, in San Cristobal to be exact, which is the name of the city. She had the idea to go camping in the jungle and go chasing waterfalls for the weekend. And so we would have to make our way. You have to remember, Mexico is fucking huge. So we'd have to make our way about 7 to 10 hours by bus away into the jungle to find these waterfalls, to camp, to wake up, to go to a different waterfall the next day, to camp, to wake up, to come home. And we were gonna hitchhike to save some money. What I thought this was a perfect idea. I mean, we're 2 girls, we can do this together, like we're safe because she speaks Spanish. I'm protected by angels. We've both done this before. Everything's gonna be fine. To show you the efficiency of Mexico, so we're standing on the side of the road with our thumbs up, and literally in less than 10 minutes before any other car stops to get us, a colectivo pulls over. And in Mexico, these colectivos are like these like white like cargo vans that have some seats in the back, and you just get in them and you throw them some pesos. They drive you to the destination. All right, it's like an unofficial bus shuttle. They're very safe, okay? They're very real. All the locals use them. So we end up taking this colectivo multiple times. On that whole trip, the colectivo came faster than the hitchhike pickup. So that just goes to show the efficiency. And honestly, I wish that the United States had something like this, like a local shuttle service just run by some person with a van or a truck. You just throw them $3 to take you somewhere. Like, it works. It works out. I sat on the floor, but it worked. And this was like the unsafe autonomous zone of Chiapas, okay? And we were fine. So the next story is like a half a story. I kept saying when I was leaving San Cristobal and Chiapas and going to Oaxaca that I was gonna hitchhike there. I really wanted to hitchhike there, and I was like, you know what? Someone's gonna come to the hostel that I was working at and going to be hitchhiking from San Cristobal to Oaxaca, and I'm just gonna go with them. I had plans to take the bus with the same girlfriend from the last story. Literally 2 days before we're scheduled to leave, this other random Argentinian guy shows up at my hostel, and he's like, I'm hitchhiking to Oaxaca tomorrow. My jaw literally dropped. I was like, what in the manifestation is this? How do you just appear in front of me when I literally said that this is exactly what I wanted? So I had this opportunity to go hitchhiking with this guy. I really thought about it. I was like, all right, am I just gonna go? Just pack up all my stuff and go with this random guy that I just met on the road? I was like this close to going, but I'm a girl's girl and I already had this set plan to go with my girlfriend and go to Oaxaca and enjoy ourselves together. And so I ended up sticking to that plan, and you know what? That was an adventure in its own right, and that was a crazy story that I might share at a different time. I didn't end up hitchhiking with that guy. He did end up making it to Oaxaca the next day. Someone picked him up. But that was a crazy manifestation. So once I made it to the coast of Oaxaca in Puerto Escondido, I was going from Puerto Escondido to Mazunte. And Mazunte was known to be like this hippie town. So I was like, you know what? It's literally one coastal road on the beach. This is a perfect place for me to hitch. So I leave my hostel in Puerto Escondido, I go up to the main road, and I just start hitching. And I put my thumb out, and I'm literally just going like 2 hours down the coast or something like that. And I had a couple people stop for me. Especially I had this like group of 3, I don't know if they're American or British, but young guys do a full circle to come over and like ask me if I was okay and ask me where I was going. I don't think that they had seen anybody really hitching, especially like a young solo female traveler. And when I told them I was going to Mazunte, they were like, oh, it's too far. Nobody was going that far. So nobody ended up picking me up. And again, the bus came before the hitch, and the bus, again, like, I wasn't too worried about money. Like, I think the bus was like 100 pesos or like something like this, and I had 100 pesos, so I took the bus. Okay, get to the like drop off section in Mazunte, and the other thing is, from the main road down to the beach in Mazunte, it's like a 35-minute car ride. So I get off the bus and I go to the Colectivo stop. The Colectivo is completely full. Like, there's no way for me to fit on the Colectivo. So the Colectivo goes. And I'm like, well, I might as well just hitch while I'm standing here waiting for the next Colectivo. So I start talking to a local guy, ask him if I can surf this beach. He's like, I don't know, maybe. I'm like, okay, thanks. So put my thumb out, and I think like literally within 5 minutes, this car pulled over and picked me up. It was 3 older guys. They were all probably in their like late 30s to 50s, and the youngest guy was driving. I felt completely safe. The car was a mess, but I got in with my bags. They were going to Mazunte. There was only one road, and we were all going to the same place. So why would they not pick me up, right? So then they were going to Mazunte, and I was going to Mazunte. So I got in the car. It's always easier for me to tell people that I'm from New York. So I'm from New York, and they start going on about their daughters and how they're all old friends from Cuernavaca. And I told them, oh my god, I'm going to Cuernavaca, I have friends there. And they're like, oh, let's take your number, we can meet up when we're there. And when you're in Mazunte, if you need somewhere to stay, we're staying in my cousin's house, they have an extra room. I'm like, oh wow, thank you. And this is all in Spanish, right? I mean, it's a mixture of Spanish and English, but it's mostly Spanish. And that's what hitching on Tenerife taught me too, that I had the ability to talk in Spanish. We're in this car ride with these older guys, and it's just me. I don't know why I'm saying we're taking selfies. Like, when we finally get to Mazunte, I'm like, okay, you can let me out here and I'll walk to my hostel from there so they don't know where I'm staying. Stuff like that, okay? Be smart. Like, if you're gonna do it, have some wits about you. They let me out of the car, and then they all get out of the car and they're like, can we take some photos with you to send to our daughters? And I'm like, of course. So then we're all taking selfies and pictures. I feel like a celebrity, and they're like, oh, it was so nice to meet you. Safe travels, safe journeys, enjoy Mexico. I'm like, wow, it's just so incredibly nice to meet you too. Like, the magic of just like opening your arms to someone, and the fact that in that 30-minute car ride, you've offered me 2 places to stay, here and in the future. You tell me if I need anything to let you know. I have all of your numbers. All of your daughters know about me, and like, you'll remember me forever, and I'll remember you forever, because we spent this time communicating and meeting each other for who we really are. Is just like incredible, and the magic of hitchhiking, right? So that was my first experience hitchhiking in Mexico, and it was perfect. I got to Mazunte, which was the hippie beach, by hitchhiking. I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. And then I spent like a good amount of time on that part of the coast in Oaxaca as well. Now, whether I liked Mazunte or not, you can read more about on my Substack if you subscribe. I think I've written about this story before. My final hitchhiking story in Mexico is a little bit more dramatic. I'm in Oaxaca City and I'm going to Mexico City. I have scheduled a night bus for about midnight. And in order to make my 8-hour night bus more enjoyable, I have taken up on the hostel's offer. So I'm like 6 beers into my evening, and I've just been chatting with people who are like pre-gaming to go to the bars. The time comes where I'm finally like, okay, I need to leave to go to the bus station, because the bus station is not central. The bus station is like a 45-minute to an hour walk, and I have my full backpack on. Do I really want to walk 45 minutes to an hour with all my stuff while drunk in the night in Mexico? No, I don't. So what's the alternative? A taxi. But guess what? I had no cash at this point. I had spent all my pesos, and I only had some American dollars left that I needed to transfer into pesos. But the transfer rate in Oaxaca, for some reason, was absolutely horrible. It was like 13 pesos to a dollar or something like that, when it's supposed to be like 18 to 20. And I was like, I cannot do that. So I had no cash, so I couldn't afford / pay for a taxi. I only had a few like coins left, enough coins to take the local bus to the bus station, because I think the local bus cost like 20 pesos, and 20 pesos, like I said, is like $1. So on my Google Maps at 11 p.m. I go out to where the local bus stop is supposed to be, and I wait there, and I ask the doorman, hey, is the bus coming? Does the bus stop here? And he's like, yes. I said, okay, perfect. And time is ticking. Time is ticking, and now time is ticking away to a point where I can no longer walk. I have put all of my marbles into catching the bus, and the bus is just not coming. I think I've been waiting for like 10-15 minutes, and the bus still has yet to show up. So I'm starting to give off an anxious energy. Like, the fuck? I have my backpack on, I have all my stuff on, it's nighttime, I'm alone, and the bus is not here. I'm standing on a street corner. And just to my luck, these people arrive and roll down their window, asking if I need help going somewhere, in Spanish. So I answered, are you going to Santa Rosa? Are you going in the direction of Santa Rosa? Because I'm going to the Santa Rosa bus terminal. And to my luck, those two gentlemen were indeed going in the direction of Santa Rosa. So what did I do? I said, can you drive me to the bus station? And they were like, sure, get in. So what did I do? I climbed in the backseat of their car. Listen, it worked. It worked out. I made my bus. So let me tell you what I strategically did to stay safe in the situation. First of all, initial vibes. Did they give me creepy vibes? No, honestly, Mexicans are genuinely kind people, most of them. And I go more into my book that you'll read about this idea of guardian angels, that random people appear in your life at random times to make sure you get from one place to another. I do think that these people were also guardian angels. They were people sent to make sure that I made it to my bus and was safe in the journey. The initial vibe, I felt safe. I really didn't have any other alternative. I didn't have any money to pay for a taxi. The bus wasn't coming, and I needed to make my bus. So I got in their car. Of course, they ask me where I'm from, what I'm doing, how's Mexico been, and I tell them, I'm Jillian, I'm from New York, well, close to New York, and it's been going good. I'm going to Mexico City now. Oaxaca has been incredible. I've been here for a month. And on my phone, I have the Google directions up to the bus station. So I'm tracking that we're going in the right direction towards the bus station, okay? Halfway through, there was actually a police checkpoint to make sure that there was no like drunk drivers on the road. So the police are literally right there. So it's like these two guys in the front, I'm in the back with my stuff, and the police are right there. I felt so safe. I was like, dude, if I needed help, like the police are right there. Like, I'm in good hands. These guys aren't drunk. I feel safe. We're going in the right direction. The police just saw me with these guys. We're in the clear. We're ballin'. I'm about to make my bus. They lived in the community, and then they just drove me right up to the bus station. And their piece of advice to me was to not trust people in Mexico City. They said that people in Mexico City were more dangerous because it's the biggest city in North America, and to be careful. So people who just picked me up from the side of the road, advice to me in the future was don't do this again with anyone else. And I'm like, okay, I'll respect your opinion as a Mexican, and I won't do that. So that was my last hitchhiking story in Mexico. And honestly, like, those guys were awesome. I mean, it wasn't like my other experiences hitchhiking, which were a bit more personal where I got to know those people and they were like longer drives, but that was definitely like a time of desperation where people were more than willing to go 5 minutes out of their way to help me out. And they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to ask me if I was okay. They didn't have to offer me a ride, and they did. And I don't think that that would normally happen in United States. I think that if I was stranded on a bus corner and the bus wasn't coming, I don't think people would stop for me. Me as a person, because it's been done to me, I might stop for them. But that's also something that I've realized while hitchhiking, is the people that pick up hitchhikers were normally people who have hitchhiked in the past, at least women. Men, as a young woman, like, it's much easier for a man to pull over on the side of the road and pick me up because they're intrigued to know why am I alone on the side of the road without a man to keep me safe. And normally it's a mixture between wanting to protect me and being attracted to me, and I just, you know, draw a boundary and then also express to them that I'm grateful for their help, not for their desire towards me. The moral of the story was to talk about my experience hitchhiking in Mexico, talk about the efficiency of the colectivos in that country and how I think that we need more local shuttle taxi buses in the United States, even if they're not state mandated, just like community made. And then two, like, really look out for your neighbor, because like I said, my book is all about the connections that we have with people and how they impact us, and how you can have these random momentary connections with people that you will never forget, that really affect you, that really make you think, wow, there's people out in the world, good people, or there's people out in the world different than me, and they deserve to live their life just as much as I do. And I think that's really powerful. It gives you a sense of empathy and a sense of understanding for other people. So I'll leave you with this piece of advice. If you choose to hitchhike the first few times, do it with someone else. Be safe. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is your biggest aid, especially in traveling, but also in life. If you get a bad vibe, get out of that situation. Normally, I would carry like a steak knife in my bag. I know that's like not much, but like a pocket knife, a steak knife, something pointed to like protect you. Always have your phone charged when you're in these cars so that you can either call someone or look at the maps. And then also do it with someone else. Do it with a partner the first few times if you want. It really warms you up to the idea of it, because the idea of hitchhiking is that it's also a very interpersonal thing. It's not like a taxi, it's not like an Uber, and it's not like a bus. You don't have someone driving you. You're experiencing life with another person who chose to spend this time with you. So you're getting to know each other, okay? I hope that this video inspires you to live a little bit more ambitiously, to get out of your comfort zone, but be safe while doing it. If you like my stories, keep an eye out. Like I said, again and again and again, I have a book coming out sometime this year, fingers crossed, with tons of stories over my last 10 years of travel. And if you want to see more of me, all my social medias are linked down below. And thanks for watching today's video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Ciao.